This week's episode of Beautiful Bones reveals why Isozaki is so obsessed about flowers. It is actually because it is used for him to close a gap in his heart that was created when a student of his, Futaba, went missing 2-3 years ago, and to this day still haven't been found. The only thing that is found that kind of gives a closure is a suicide-like note from Futaba, and he feels that he failed Futaba by not noticing that she had it really bad and considered suicide. However, Sakurako tells him that he shouldn't feel bad because people who consider suicide, or to be more exact, ending their own life, they actually don't want to talk about it or show it to people because there is a chance that the closest one to them may try to stop them, and that makes it even harder for those people to commit suicide. However, I have a feeling that Futaba actually didn't commit suicide, and the reason she went missing is that she's dead, but she wasn't. She didn't commit suicide. She actually was murdered by Hanabusai, the painter. You know the guy that Fujiko, the guy we saw in the episode with the cursed painting, the one that almost cut off his leg. You know the guy he talked with, the one with the hat and the trench coat. That is Hanabusai. And the and now that we are talking about the cursed painting, it's actually really interesting because the person in the cursed painting is actually Hitway, the butterfly girl we saw in at the end of last week's episode. And in case you actually wonder, what does this mean? Well, there's two things you can take from it. One, the painting was painted recently, or at least 2-3 years ago, which means that Hanabusai deliberately used a deathly or very toxic painting to paint this cursed painting, and therefore he directly meant maybe to kill Fujiko and the child. So he is pretty evil, this Hanabusai. Also, the butterflies on the back of the girl who is Hitway is called Alita Diana, and those butterflies is very attracted to what is it called, dead things like animal carcasses or human carcasses. So what could that mean? Could that mean that he actually killed Futsaba because or that is actually what I think, because as Minami, who also went missing together with Hitway in this episode, says when she is found in the restaurant and taken to Sakurako's house, she tells them that he's only interested in people with butterflies in them. And from what I can see from the preview, she has actually, with a spatula, cut like a butterfly on her back. So what I guess she has done is basically taking and cutting off skin from her back with this spatula to create a butterfly-like shape, which Hanabusai could use. And also, Hanabusai is actually the reason why Minami and Hitway had that huge breakup, and not because of Futaba's disappearance. Because according to what is called Minami's mother, when they go visit them, one what's it called? Minami isn't coming home when the mother's current boyfriend is there. So yeah, and two, the reason why they had this breakup, Hitway and Minami, was because Hitway slept with Hanabuse, and I'm not sure if she actually did that, or it's more like, okay, Hanabuse, he got what he wanted from Minami when she cut that, shall we say, the butterfly-like shape from her back, uh, and therefore he just like threw her away, and then yeah, I'm not sure because we actually found out that Hitway, she has hidden herself in I think it's like a tree house where she had called this painter and talking with him and saying that she loves him. But back to Minami, because underneath her bed they find another painting with her as the model, and with those Lifa Diana on the back. Really, really interesting. But let's talk about the final thing before we end this. And that is actually Heatwave's house, because, as I already have said, she actually hides in a tree house. But when they go to Heatwave's house and talk to the parents, because there's been informed by, shall we say, by phone that Heatwave has been basically has vanished, they find out they find out really interesting thing. One, the mother of Hitway, she actually looks down on people that is lower standing, and what I mean with that is that if they was making like 5,000, uh, yeah, just $5,000 a year, and someone was making $1,000 a year, they would look down on them because they wasn't as able to be as flashy as those as Heatwave was. So yeah, those kind of people is actually really nasty. The other thing they found out is that Heatwave planned this because she took a bag with some clothes that could basically sustain her some days, and she also took a battery with an extra battery because she knew that she wouldn't be able to charge her phone, but still she needed to call the painter. And now the question is, will Minami reveal something important that leads them to find Hitway before Hitway maybe shares Futaba's fate? I don't know. I really don't know. But I must say, I'm looking forward to next week's episode, which hopefully will be out to the Tuesday, and not like first Tuesday. Yes, like Thursday. Thursday, yes, Thursday, and not like now where it's basically like 3 weeks later. But with that said, guys, have a good day, good night wherever you are, and I'll see you later with Showman Sample. Cheers.